So let's talk about this introversion extroversion continuum. Okay, that what that is of the big five personality traits. There's a continuum here. So first things first, I want to really be clear. Introversion and shyness are two different things. I want you to hear that again. Introverts, being an introvert does not mean you're shy. You could be shy and an introvert, but that's something different. When someone tells me they're shy, this generally means that they have some social anxiety, some feelings of low self-esteem, they're self-conscious, maybe they have feelings of unworthiness. Those need to be explored and treated. It stems from a real fear of others. Shyness, social anxiety, that's a fear of other people. That needs to be treated. That's an issue. Okay? That's an issue. Introversion, on the other hand, is not something that needs to be treated. Extremes on either end of the scale, so extreme introversion or extreme extroversion, are certainly issues, but run-of-the-mill introverts are not a problem to be solved. They don't have a mental health issue. And what happens is that it gets pathologized, which especially here in the United States, where extroversion is seen in a different way. I would say in other countries, depending on the country, extroversion could be pathologized, right? But, the American way, you walk up to people, you smile, you say hi. There's this sort of extroverted thing that's very much seen as American. I know, which is crazy when you think about how different Americans are, how different the people in the United States are. But that is definitely something. I know when I would travel a lot internationally and I smile when I meet people and they'll say, "Oh, you're so American." So I would hear that a lot. And I get it, I really do get it. But so for sure, introverts here in the United States are definitely, I think, pathologized way too much. So introversion is typically characterized as someone who focuses more on their internal feelings rather than external stimulation. And I'd say the big marker is that introverts find energy and, really fill their tanks with time alone, while extroverts feel their batteries recharged after spending time with friends or at an event, a concert, a sporting event, a party. It's said that introverts need to expend energy in social situations while extroverts gain energy in those same situations. And that, I would say, is the big, when we're looking at a continuum, I would say at the very extreme ends of each, right? And then you would see where you are sort of in that. Well, I often really like to be around other people and feel better afterwards. How many people or how long that goes on might change. So I want to say that this isn't to say that introverts don't like people. In fact, many introverts love to spend time with other people, but they generally prefer smaller gatherings. They prefer one-on-one interactions, and they like to generally spend time with people with whom they feel close. Okay. Well, an extrovert will, make a friend. They'll have a new best friend on the line at the grocery store. They often have multiple friend groups and many acquaintances and many, people that they have little groups of, right? So that's really a big difference there. And again, I always want you to be thinking of the continuum. So what's different is that an introvert will likely come home, let's say from a long day with family. Let's say there was a family reunion or just a big dinner, with lots of people over around a holiday or something. The introvert will come home from that time and want to spend time alone. They might want to watch a movie alone, play video games, read, take a bath, play games on their phone. They're just going to want to be alone, right? Meanwhile, their extroverted partner who was at the same event might want to stop at a bar on the way home to have some more fun, or get home and want to sit together or do something together for dinner, or want to have sex or any of these things when the end, right? That's the big difference there. So you can see where that starts to create some issues. When it comes to friends, extroverts will have many groups of friends often, like I said, and will love to do fun things with them, while an introvert will likely have a smaller group of close friends with more emotionally close relationships. So, of course, they want to do fun things too, but it's more about maybe sharing an experience that brings them closer versus having maybe a broader experience that they want to, document on social media. Extroverts can go out, have a boisterous dinner, do an escape room, and then meet up for drinks after and feel elated, right? So happy, focused, and they can recount all the fun they had. Meanwhile, research shows that introverts don't do well in situations where there's a lot going on because too much stimulation leaves them feeling overwhelmed and distracted. So yes, introverts are more easily distracted than extroverts in general. So wanting calmer situations isn't just a preference, it's really a need when you think of it that way, right? I know. And being too extreme on the introversion end, of course, can have negative effects, right? So there's isolation, there's usually a lot of mental health issues there, there's even physical issues. There's difficulty maintaining relationships, and there's often, again, depression, anxiety. But I want to be clear that the extreme end of extroversion can also be an issue. Research shows that they can be more impulsive, overconfident, reckless. They have a really, really hard time with anything that looks like boredom. So that obviously can create problems with drugs and alcohol or too much stimulation. Now, ambiverts is a word you'll likely hear, because I guess as much as it's fun to diagnose ourselves as introverts or extroverts, most people are actually ambiverts, where we can enjoy spending time with others but still need to recharge. For many of us, our introversion or extroversion depends on the people and the situation we're in. I know it really does for me. So what we're looking at today is where you tend to lean and how that's become an issue in your relationships.